welcome to the Blackhouse on a sunny Saturday afternoon here at Cuba Duper. We're right in the middle of the thick of things, and we've got Debian, we've got Nicole, we've got Baz in the house. I'm just going to start for a minute. Baz, how's your weekend been so far? What have you seen at Cuba Duper?
It's a bit weird for me to bend down and speak on the mic. It's kind of awkward. What have I seen on Cuba Duper? I just went for a gig in Valhalla. It was this R&B hip hop sort of a group of people.
What was it this morning?
No, like half an hour ago.
Oh wow. Okay. Here we go.
Just before I dropped in here, and then I went for there was this thing by the Pacific Connection.
Okay.
It's like what's that? Barbershop. Barbershop is the.
Oh, like a cappella.
A cappella, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's the two things I've been for so far.
Okay. And you're planning for a big weekend yourself?
Yeah. Tomorrow, we have our Blackhouse party. The dirty little secret.
Yes, we do. That's exactly what's happening, Baz. Yes, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're having the Blackhouse Sunday session, Volume 2. We got volumes.
Volume 2.
We got volumes.
Come on, volumes.
So yeah, everybody get down there because it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And you doing anything else before that though?
Shout to my friends whoever's listening to me. It's my birthday tomorrow, so you gotta be there.
Oh, happy birthday! How old are you?
I'm gonna turn 29 tomorrow.
Oh my God!
Do, do, do.
Look, and you're still single?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, he's looking for love. He's doing 29.
I'm not looking for love.
You're not looking for love?
I like it. I like keeping it casual and open.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm looking for money.
He's looking for money. Give me the pesa. Give me the shillingi. But what about you? You're about to head out after this, aren't you, Debian?
Yeah. It's an exciting day. I'm going to go to the chemist warehouse, get my herbal supplements on.
So you can keep up with everything.
Yep.
Yes, I've taken my vitamin C today.
Yes, because you know what? It's a vibe all the time. So
it's a vibe all the time.
Every day. So I got to keep my energy up for the vibe.
Exactly.
You guys sound so over 30 years old.
Look, that's not even the worst. When I get home, I got to take my Metamucil, take my eye contact.
Oh my God. The 30s. Because, like I don't know, I'm wondering, like, with everything that's going on in the world, 30-year-olds are actually experiencing it like 40-year-olds.
Yep.
Because there's so much going on.
No, really, like, before I go out, like, back in the day, I used to be like, and I uploaded a meme similar to this, I'd be like, woo, let's go out, taking shots. Now I have my chamomile tea, I'm saging my energy, got my interest going, talking about, Lord, I can do this. So yeah, it's giving 30s.
We've got a special guest. We'll talk more about the Q a little bit later. But we've got a special guest in the house today. She is, now let me see if I've got your hat that you wear correct. You're the coordinator of
SBWL.
SBWL.
SBWL. Yeah, it's like an abbreviation for the entire word SBWL, which means craving in Xhosa, which is a South African language. Yeah.
Right. And you're an event promoter.
Yes, so it all started off with just throwing parties, and then I eventually just registered my business. Now I do other events, private events. I try and get gigs like weddings or anything really, you know. But yeah, it's a bit hard where that's concerned, where the African community is concerned, because I kind of try to stick to like the African vibe. Yeah.
Okay, well you said what SBWL is. Like, tell me a little bit about how it all got started.
Okay, so...
Well, we were just talking about it before in the room, so let's just go back to that. And
so, it honestly all started with COVID. We were like in lockdown all the time, in and out of levels, and every time we're like at level 2 or level 1 and we got a little bit of freedom, then we're like, what do we do? Like, there's nothing to do. Clubs would still be closed because you can't have like more than 50 people in one space or whatever.
Yeah.
So I threw a house party, and then the turn up was absolutely ridiculous. At my house there was about 50 to 70 people.
Wow, that's big
I
for
was
a house
like,
party.
people really like want to go out
Yeah.
after being locked down
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah.
And then in 2021, I was just like, hey, I'm gonna do this. The other reason, there's actually two reasons why. The other reason was I feel like the genre Amapiano was just not appreciated enough in
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
I remember in 2020 and in 2019 asking a couple of promoters that were already doing this to kind of focus on Amapiano a bit more, and they felt that it would like exclude other genres in Africa. And I thought, you know what, okay, if you don't want to do it, I'll do it. So it literally started there, and it's
Yeah.
still going.
Yeah.
Actually celebrating my 3rd birthday the 6th of April with the
Wow,
whole white
well
party.
done.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it just gets better and better every year, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
And can you share us, the inspiration behind promoting DJs and artists in the Auckland's entertainment scene? Like, what inspires you to do that? Was it mainly just because Amapiano was overlooked, or was there other things that kind of pushed you?
To be honest, I have a lot of gratitude to Massimo.
Right. So who's Massimo? Tell us.
Massimo is Marcelo John.
Yeah.
He is a DJ in Auckland. He has also gone international.
Right.
To be honest, he pushed me for
Yeah.
this because yes, as much as Amapiano wasn't appreciated much, it was just more the culture as well of like the South African culture. Like I feel like, okay, I know that every African country has their own way of partying, but I feel like there's no country that can party like South Africa.
There isn't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There isn't.
As
Like,
a
that's
Nigerian-
just facts.
As a Nigerian, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
So
facts.
I was just like missing out on that vibe.
Yeah.
You know, there's just that vibe about, and I just really wanted to like get all our DJs out there, whether you were from South Africa or not. As long as you were into the genre, and that I just wanted it to get out there more. You know,
because I remember that it was all Afrobeat. Really, really heavy Afrobeat. I heard DJ Dozen play a track once, and it was that one John Vulligay.
Oh yes,
And I
my
just
God,
went,
that was it.
What is this? I'd never heard the music before, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this? It was just that one track,
Yeah.
and I was hooked.
Yeah.
And I'd
yeah.
never heard I heard Kwaito.
Oh yeah.
I'd
yeah.
heard like a little bit of African house music from South Africa, but I'd never heard Amapiano. I'd never heard the word before. And or no, I don't know how to say it. I just have to say it with a very flat English tongue. Gom. I don't know how to say it.
Okay, it's gum.
Yeah. So when I first heard it, I was like, what is this music? And then we linked with DJ Colliers, and he's South African, and that's the music that he mainly plays. And I'm just like, I love this. But literally there was just a track. And I sort of like both, but I do like Amapiano more.
Yeah.
I do like it more. And it's so addictive.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's so weird because like Amapiano's been around since maybe 2010.
Really?
Yet, yes, I've been an Amapiano girl from I think, well, here it's middle school.
Yeah.
Back in South Africa we only had primary and high school, but
Yeah.
from like grade 7,
Yeah, yeah.
Amapiano came out, and it was something new. It's similar to deep house, where the beats is very mellow and chilled, but with Amapiano it just got this extra funk to it.
Yeah.
So it's like a better version of a deep house, and like more of a vibey deep house, because deep house is perfect for like chill times, like a Sunday session.
Yeah.
You're just chilling, sipping on your drinks, like
Yeah.
But Amapiano still has like that vibe.
Yeah,
you know?
just wanna, you just want to get the dance crews in there, and
Yeah,
it really reminds me when we've thrown events here and when all the young people come in, it really reminds me of how it was when you'd be in the club and then a bunch of break dancers come in.
Yeah.
And then they just like throwing down in the middle of the dance floor, dance circles and whatnot. That, and I really miss that because
no, really, and you were saying earlier how it's so vibey, right? You have it's like the bit of deep house, but then it gets you want to dance. It's just for me, it's like an earworm. I hear it and it activates something in me. Like,
it's just like you just automatically like.
I'm like, what are my shoulders doing?
Yeah.
I'm being drawn to the dance floor. You know?
Yeah.
And South Africa right now, oh my God, it's the time. The time is now.
Yes.
With what's going on, I'm so happy people are discovering Amapiano. As you mentioned, it's been out for a while, you know.
It's been there for a very, very long time. I feel like the rest of the world, well, we do kind of have Kabza the Small, which is a very popular DJ, and DJ Maporisa to thank for kind of bringing it out there because they just took it another level during COVID time. I mean, everybody was locked down and they started these YouTube like videos and there's also major league DJs, the twins, like they did all these balcony mixes because we were restricted.
Brotherhood Jay-Z.
So Brotherhood is in New Zealand, but Major League is South African.
In South Africa. Yeah.
So they so they just started it, and I feel like the fact that they put it on YouTube, they put it online, it just kind of spread. And then when they were out of lockdown in that, they started going to Dubai, they started going to America, and it just started spreading. It's very popular in Australia as well. I feel like New Zealand is a bit slow where it's concerned though. But compared to where we were in 2020, it's gotten a lot better, you know. So I feel like we should just keep going, and then we'll eventually get there, you know.
So what do you think, how is it doing these events in that cultural landscape of Auckland? Because you've mainly been based in Auckland, right?
Yes.
So how do you find it, like approaching venues, and are they open to it? Because I've heard that you can go to Auckland and there'll be multiple places where they've got either Afrobeats or Amapiano going. But how is it sort of like getting into that landscape of Auckland, getting into the clubs or getting wherever it is you're going to throw the venue, throw the event,
Yeah, so there isn't like a specific venue that is solely Amapiano or Afrobeats or anything like that. So you do get clubs so in Auckland at the moment, a lot of clubs have closed down and a lot have been bought.
Yes.
So obviously, new owners are open to anything really to kind of just make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
I do feel that Auckland is a lot easier to get though than Wellington, because I've tried in Wellington to like do events here, but the venues I feel like they're just very stuck and comfortable with what they're doing at the moment, and they don't really have that shortage. I mean, Auckland is very expensive, so we have kind of noticed a decline in people coming as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also why there isn't somebody that's been like, oh, yep, I'm opening up an African club.
Right.
It's actually really, really easy. I mean, I've been in Auckland for about 12 years. In the city, I love the city since I was like a teenager. So I feel like me going out and meeting so many people throughout my teenage life, I just kind of made those connections, and I'm not afraid to approach people because we're all people. You know, the worst I can get is like bugger off, you know. You will never know until you try. So I personally like whether it's on Instagram, whether it's via an email, set up a meeting with the owner, a manager, or whatever the case may be, and then meet them. Talk to them, give them the idea, explain to them the culture, let them feel what it is that I want to do. And most of the time they just cool with it. They're like, oh yeah, we can give it a try. You know, Aucklanders are very, very open to new things. That's what I love about the city. I think maybe my challenges in Wellington is based because I I'm not from here and I
Yeah.
don't really know the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually really, really easy, to be honest. Yeah.
It is challenging here, and like we were talking about earlier, it is really like similarly, you have to get in front of those owners.
Yeah.
You got to
definitely
pitch.
have to.
It's
Yeah.
really, you've got to pitch, and like and it's really odd to me too, because at the same time as the entertainment industries up and down the country obviously are having a tough time with people attending, you would think, try something new. You never know, it might work. Instead of like, oh, we've got to stick to the same.
It's so annoying being in Wellington though, because yesterday I was at a Persian New Year party at the Red Square Bar. And in total there were like about 20 of us Persians there.
Yeah.
And that party got shut off in like 2 hours.
Why?
Because the owner was like, oh, people are not buying enough drinks. Well, because there's 20 Persians in Wellington.
Yeah.
Like, of course. And it was such a drag, because like I was enjoying their culture.
Yeah.
And all of the 20 of us, we were enjoying the culture.
Yeah.
And then like then she was just like, the owner, she was just like, oh, bugger off now, you're done. Because this artist came all the way from Australia
No
to
way.
play in Wellington. And now the owner was like, they started at 8 until 10, and the party was meant to go until 2.
Yeah.
Got kicked out at 10 because like they were like, oh, we want like the basic white average Kiwis to come in.
But did they have them there? Like, why couldn't they just join in?
Oh, because it was Persian music, so like they weren't vibing with it. It was like very typically Persian music.
Right.
Like, so it's very niche. Like,
Yeah.
And the average Kiwi culture is not open to like experiencing something new.
Yeah.
Especially like people in the age group of like 18, from 18 to 22. That's the kind of like clubbing age here.
Yeah.
Most of them. And I mean it was very, very like Persian music.
Right. Okay.
So it was like, unless you're like open-minded, which I don't think.
Open to world music.
99% of like people, Kiwis in that age group are.
Yeah.
They just want to get smashed and listen to like very basic, I don't know, Fred again kind of music.
Speak on it.
D&B. I mean, Fred again is good, but like
Yeah.
but like it's just very basic, like basic like trash TikTok music. That's the vibe.
Yeah, I don't even know who Fred again is, but I know that he's here.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, his tickets are being resold. Like original, the price was $100, and then within 3 minutes the tickets went out. Within 3 minutes of like going out.
And see, like, this is the thing that, like, as a promoter yourself, you're probably thinking, well, do you think about how big you could go with maybe even bringing in Amapiano artists from South Africa? Or
To be honest, that has been the goal forever.
Yeah.
The only problem I have is other promoters. Like,
Right.
for me, I look at white people.
Yeah.
Look, and they all work together.
Yeah.
Like, you've got 10 companies investing in something, and 1 million people
Speak
show
on
up.
it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like Africans, I don't know why, but they just have this thing of, I want to eat alone.
Yes.
And
Tell me about
ever
it.
since and honestly, I talk to them about this all the time. Like, if they out there listening to this, they know that I've been preaching this. I always say, let's put our heads together and we can also have a juicy fest.
Yes.
Why can't we have a juicy fest?
Exactly.
I mean, I went to Juicy Fest, the first one. Oh my goodness, I could not believe how big it was.
Yeah.
Like different cities. Why can't we have an African festival like that?
Yeah.
Why? Because we don't want to work together. And okay, cool. Everybody wants to work together, but then nobody wants to put the money up front.
Yeah.
So it's just those little bit of challenges that we all need to kind of like work on and maybe think about.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could also have our own Juicy Fest one day,
like this is what amazed me when I first came. Well, in about 2014 I started, because my sons are, like I've said on the show many times, my son and, well, both my sons actually are working in the music industry. and they work with artists from Australia and Canada and other places. So I was very watching what was going on in Australia, and then around 2014 I started looking at what was going on in New Zealand. And I was blown away with the talent that was coming out of New Zealand from the African community and probably Caribbean community as well. But when I got to Wellington, other African people didn't know what I was talking about, and I'm like, how can you not know? And I started putting all these collating my little playlist on YouTube and stuff, because there was videos and everything. And like the Blackhouse kind of like came up in 2020 to basically celebrate us right here. Why aren't we celebrating us right here? Yeah. Like, we've got these talented artists, we've got talented DJs. We need to be supporting what's going on right here, because if we're not supporting what's going on right here and we're constantly just looking on at what's going back there, and we've all got families back there, but right now I'm living right here, so what's going on for us right here? And how can we need to be doing, like, I grew up around Pacifica and Māori people who really got behind each other. I mean, there was squabbles in those early days, but now it's the group that actually puts Juicy Fest together. I think they're Polynesian boys from Australia. Why aren't we doing that too? And there's a challenge. There's a challenge about this eating alone business and being the big chief.
Yeah.
In the small little villages.
I can say something real quick. Sorry. We tried to do. I don't know if you guys know D. Matthews. Yes.
Yeah.
So, D. Matthews is now based in Melbourne, and he had asked me last year to do a concert for him.
Was that? Yes.
So I was hosting that at Sweet Shop.
Yeah.
Everything went well. We got Jägermeister on board. We got Red Bull on board. Like, we just went all out for it. We wanted to put Masbo Q, Jesby, Jujulips.
That's it.
I'm sorry,
there's so many.
Browns. Yeah.
There's so many.
So we got all of them on, there's this other guy, Wagwan. We had all of them. We had all of them on the lineup, and it was so perfect. But guess what? We didn't even sell more than like 20 tickets pre-sale. And the tickets were like, what? $50?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the problem with Africans in New Zealand supporting artists in New Zealand that are African.
Yeah.
If we can adopt that Pacifica mentality, and support our own that's right here, instead of waiting for my barista to come from South Africa and then I'll spend $200 for a ticket to see him DJ. Why can't we do that the same for anybody here?
You've basically just said what the Blackhouse ethos was right from the get-go, celebrating us right here. Yeah. Because nobody's really touching that. You know what I mean? It's like nobody's touching that thing. And I also wonder about if they're my age group. I know when I was in Tanzania, right, there's a funny attitude that older Tanzanians have about musicians. Or people in the creative space. Like, this is the administration capital, so everybody's got to be a university student, everybody's got to be a lawyer, doctor, or whatever. What are you doing playing music or DJing? Why are you doing that? What are you doing podcasting, for Christ's sake?
Like, what is that?
What is that? How is that going to put you in a specific sort of socio-economic group where we can feel proud? But there's a hangover of that with people who actually get into positions of having a bit of authority from our community that aren't really going, hang on, what is our creative community doing? Because as far as I know, there's Black Creatives Aotearoa that focuses on creatives specifically from the Black community. There's the Blackhouse. I think there's you, and then there's a few African festivals, which yeah, they seem to change and whatnot a little bit. But
With the brown too, I want to shout out my, Indian half Persian brother.
Yeah.
We for everybody. But it's called the Black House for a reason. You
Yeah.
know, black, brown, all of us, we're all in this together.
yeah, I have
I'm a pretend African.
Africans are right now where Polynesians were in about 1985. So we're going through that stuff in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Still kind of segregated, haven't really, a lot of different silo communities, and haven't really looked at the bridges, and a lot of the bridges are sitting right in front of you. We're talking about bridging those spaces between exclusively cultural events and what is this experience we're having right here in New Zealand?
Just shout to Brother Munir. He's excellent at bridging.
What is that?
You'll notice him trying to talk to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
It's so funny to watch him.
Yeah.
Like short African dude just going around and being funny to look at. He's not.
Wait a minute, that sounds shady.
He's not funny, like, he doesn't have a sense of humor. He's funny just to, like, because of the way he behaves.
The way he does it, yeah. But he's effective.
He's so awesome. I love him. He's so awesome.
I hope he gets to hear this later. Yeah.
He's a bridge.
He's a vibe all the time.
All the time.
All the listeners, if you see like a short African dude on a Friday, Saturday evening, say hello.
Yeah.
It's Mundia. No, it is so important to bridge the community, and that's what I love about this organization. That's what I love about music, because music brings people together. Like for me, when I discovered Amapiano, I was like, I didn't know much about South Africa. I know that I like it as a country. I love partying with South Africans, and I love all of it. But I was like, ooh, wait, this is really good, and it brought people together, Like if you look at all the parties that you plan and promote, it has South African music for a reason.
Yeah.
Because that gets people together. It unites everybody.
And I don't understand, like, why do you think there was like this I mean, if you're going to do an African event and you're playing Afrobeat, what is the thing with, like, you can't play Afrobeat and Amapiano together?
What is that?
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I play them together.
Yeah.
I actually play hip hop, not really hip hop, but hip hop R&B. R&B is a massive one. Mixed with Amapiano, so you got your mixtures where they take like a R&B song and then they put like a Amapiano beat to it.
Yeah.
And then we've got like your Afro beats. Like that's the focus for me.
Yeah.
A lot of others do maybe just dance. So there's dancehall, there's soca, there's all these other ones as well. So they'll kind of cut the Amapiano out and do Afrobeat, soca, dancehall, whatever else, know. But yeah, for me, I'm just like whatever vibes goes, I mean, Amapiano is such a vibe. Nigeria is recreating it at the moment. Like they made this the song and it's just gone viral at the moment, and it's like, okay, yes, they're making it their own thing where so there's this thing about Amapiano. It's not supposed to be created at a certain beat level. It needs to be at that level or below.
Right.
And Nigerians have this thing of taking it above, but that's just Nigerians. They don't care. But I mean, it's still so cool because Nigerians have this Afro beats, which is like a bit fast, like it's like a nice vibey. Amapiano is supposed to be more of like a deep house with a bit of a beat and like a little,
Yeah.
But then the Nigerian Amapiano is like a mixture in between, which has actually made the world see Amapiano. I'm not gonna lie, South Africans are gonna hate me, but but it's true. Like I mean, if it wasn't for a couple of songs that a Nigerian DJ or producer created and put out there, it wouldn't even have been known the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks for Tyler now that's gone and won a Grammy.
Yeah.
Where it's seen a bit more now, but I mean, we just need to love the music, man.
Yeah.
And just embrace the culture and just love it. Doesn't matter who's recreating it, doesn't matter who. We know where it's originated from.
Yeah.
So Who
It's
cares,
Africa,
man?
like,
Yeah.
why are you investing so much in these borders anyway? I mean, like, it's really weird, you know, to me, because like African countries and different countries can be quite competitive.
They can, and I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's
and
sad.
it's sad.
Oh, no.
And considering when they're being competitive, when the lines that are being drawn up in Africa to make one country, and another country, are not the African original lines of differentiation. They're colonial lines. So
Yeah.
it's almost like an oxymoron to be competitive.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it doesn't make any sense because you're trying to make out that there's a difference between somebody on this side of the border to somebody on that side of the border when those lines
Yeah.
never really existed.
Exactly, it's falling for that bait of conquer and divide. You know? Like you mentioned earlier about playing music together, right? Like Amapiano, a bit of R&B, and then putting Amapiano with it and Afrobeats. That's so smart because when you do that, you bring everyone together because you might have a fan who's, you know, like, I'm here for the Amapiano or I'm here for the R&B. You bring everybody together. Everybody gets a bit of something. Like, there shouldn't be just one, you know?
Yeah.
Nah.
Borders.
Yeah, there's something that Cole's been doing. He's been experimenting, DJ Colliers, he's been experimenting with R&B tracks running over Amapiano beats. And when I heard him do that, I was like, what the heck is this?
Yes.
Do that again.
Yeah.
Yes.
That tickled something.
It kind of draws people, like you'll be singing Rihanna, but then you're vibing
Yeah.
like at the same time,
Yeah.
you know. And I feel like that's how a lot of DJs around the world has introduced Amapiano to the world because there is really no other way. Like if I know nothing about beats and instruments and you playing me a beaty song, I'm gonna be like, that's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But if you're bringing something that I'm familiar with, like an R&B song, and mixing it, I'm gonna be like singing to Rihanna, and then at the same time, I'll be like catching the beat because like obviously the song and the beat will just go together, you know. And I love that. I love that. A lot of people has had a problem with that though, where they
Is
say
that
that
authenticity?
yes, they say that, oh, you're trying to bring Amapiano across in the wrong way. But I feel like that's the perfect way. Like, what other way than
What other
taking
way?
something that already exists and recreating it?
Yeah.
And like, if Baz, like, he probably knew nothing about Amapiano, where he's from and stuff.
I do.
And, okay, cool. But I mean, like, in general, like, people wouldn't. And I mean, if he hears like his favorite artist on like a Amapiano beat, he'll be like, hey, I know that song. And then he'll start singing and then be like, but what's that beat?
Yeah.
You know, and then he'll just, oh, I can maybe he likes it, maybe he doesn't. He never has to listen to it again if he doesn't. But if he does, he's gonna look for another song that's similar, and it's just gonna keep going, you know.
I think, you know, living in the diaspora, I think notions of purity are a little bit puerile.
Oh my
Honestly.
God! Don't even. I could do a whole other episode.
Yeah, we
on
could do a
that.
whole episode about it.
Oh my God! Never feel accepted with any culture.
Yeah, I just think that all of that can be, you know, like it's, yeah. I don't actually like it because it's not really a reflection of what we really are, because we are a multicultural society. I love Bhangra. I heard a DJ, I don't know what she was mixing with. I think she started up for the R&B thing, and then she flipped it into this crazy Bhangra mix with the R&B thing on top, and I'm like, that's wild. Like, I would get into
For those
that.
unacquainted, Bhangra is traditional Punjabi folk music.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was going to say educate me. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but it's like hardcore. What would you call it?
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
then they throw the heavy drum thing in.
Yeah.
It's like
outside. turn it outside.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like,
It is.
and I was like, man, I love this music.
Yeah.
This is, you know, and I'm like, this is a real, like, imagine doing Amapiano over that with that drumming. Like, that'd be
Oh,
wild.
Oh, there is
very
a
good.
Amapiano song that is actually that Bhangra.
Bhangra.
Yeah, there is one. And
There
it's
is one
so
really.
cool. Yes, there's an Amapiano mix with the Bhangra song.
I'm looking
it's
this up.
so lit.
I'm looking this up.
Look it up.
But you have an interesting point. I got into Amapiano after listening to an Instagram. Like there's this girl. She's Sri Lankan, and she had mixed up like Indian Bollywood. with Amapiano, South African Amapiano in the
Yes.
background, and I was like, whoa, this is so cool, because
Yeah.
like I could
Yeah.
relate to like the music, and then like the beats in the background, and I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. Like
Yeah.
you need more.
Yeah,
stuff
it was
like
actually viral on TikTok, that mixture, the
Right.
Amapiano
Was
and
it was it the same one? Maybe.
maybe, I don't know, it actually went viral, and
Yeah.
we were playing it for a while, about a couple of months, because you know, like a song comes in for a couple of months and then it goes
Yeah,
out
yeah.
because there's so much.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a thing. Like they even had like this TikTok with it, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was a big thing. It was last year sometime. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that we get to discuss the music and all of it coming together, because I know I repeat myself, but I'm all about music coming together from different places, because when you mentioned the borders, it's something that's so interesting with us as Africans, you know. If it's not tribalistic, which look, I appreciate culture, I
Yeah.
love my tribe and all that, but we come in together, as you mentioned earlier, like we should learn how to work with each other. There's room for all of us, and we
Yeah.
are better together than we are separate.
Absolutely,
100%,
100%. You know, and another thing, like, you know, I think that Amapiano is an authentic representation of African music. I don't know how people couldn't think like that. And it's very urban, and it's very representative, because South Africa is incredibly multicultural.
Yes! The languages, y'all got like 8,400. I don't know
No,
how
it's
many.
11.
I'm being dramatic.
8,400 languages in South Africa. What?
In just one area.
I think Nigeria
What?
has heaps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we
Nigeria
did too.
got
Yeah.
like.
Wait, is
yeah.
that an accurate number?
11,
8,400
No,
languages.
I'm being extra.
It's like, it's
That
like,
is stupid.
you've got a lot of official languages, right?
Yeah, so we got 11.
11.
11
Yeah.
official languages.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I mean, like, this is what when you're living in a, you know, in a world that thinks that a country can only exist with one language and
Yeah.
one culture,
Yeah.
and you know, like there are a few African countries like that, and usually when there's only two different cultures, they're the ones that end up fighting each other.
Yo.
I mean, Tanzania's got 120 different tribes and
Wow.
languages.
Wow.
And 3 official languages.
Yeah.
So that's also very multicultural, you know. And so, which side do you pick? Like,
Yeah,
who's fighting
it's
who?
really
Yeah.
hard, because
Mm.
for me, oh my goodness. So my parents are very, very diverse. I come probably from like 3-4 different cultures. White, Indian, Xhosa, Tswana, you know. So I've got all of those, and it's like I can't pick, because
Yeah.
it's like I grew up very colored. A lot
Yeah.
of people find it offensive when they hear that word, but for us in South Africa,
It's
colored
an
is a
identity.
thing. It's
Yes,
like it's
yeah.
a culture.
It's a part
So-
of it. Came out of, for those who don't know, it came out of the apartheid regime.
Yes, yes.
Where you had blacks representing the different ethnic groups,
Yeah.
and coloureds were the mixed
The
group
mixed
that
ones,
became its
yeah.
own independent ethnic group,
Yes.
and then white people, right?
White people and Indian.
And Indian.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because the Indians came from India, where like years before that, working in the sugarcane farms. So
Yeah.
that's why they were there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just been it's been so hard to like what do you choose? And in
But
in
you've
South
come to the
Africa,
land of the coloureds, like
yeah, like
that's what
so,
New Zealand is.
Yeah, yeah. You
We
know?
are the land of colours. You know?
Yeah, and I liked when I moved here,
Mm.
when people looked at me and I said I'm colored, they're like, what's that? I'm
What
like,
is that?
Oh, it's mixed. You mean brown?
Mm.
I was like, oh, we all brown.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I noticed.
But
You
we're
know?
also like New Zealand's also full of people that are very mixed race.
Yeah.
And if you've got I feel like when you've got a society that's really focused on racial purism, like whiteness, or you only focus on one ethnic group, or one identity, and you come from a place where you're actually walking in a couple of worlds, like I've walked in a couple of worlds all my life, multiple worlds, but I identify as being Tanzanian and New Zealander, or African and New Zealander. I don't really care about the borders because I'm in that coloured space. But
Yeah.
it became an awkward word in New Zealand because our way of identifying ethnic groups and racial groups in New Zealand went kind of lockstep with America.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
coloured was actually a term in America. Then it became out of fashion because it was looked at as like a racially kind of like...
it was offensive
Yeah.
towards black people.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I mean, Tyler had a whole like thing on social media all over when she said she was coloured in America,
That
only
means something
because
else.
of their history.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, the
And
world
only-
doesn't revolve around
Yeah,
America,
yeah,
mate.
exactly,
Like,
yeah.
come on.
Oh, you're right. Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that stems from in America is that we want to compartmentalize everything. You have to pick, like you mentioned, like you come from 3 cultures. Like, what do you pick? In America, even if you are like half white, half black, you're black. Or if you're Mariah Carey, if you got like one parent who's even half black, you're black. Because people want to just label you, you know? And you're forced. Like, growing up, I'm like, you have to pick. What are you? Nigerian? Are you Persian? What are you? It's like, well, I'll pick Nigeria because that's more obvious when people look at me. But, like, why can't we just pick what is? Why do we have to try to fit into some mold? That's you. You got to label me? That's fine. But, like, my identity goes beyond what you're able to perceive. I want to make a public service announcement. I am African American, but I identify as a South African.
As a South African coloured in particular.
Oh, you can do that? I'm Indian Persian, but I identify as a cis white. Give me the entitlement.
Yes, give me the
You know what?
Give me the privilege. I want the privilege.
My pronouns are he, ha.
You know, in your experience, what do you reckon was the most rewarding aspects of showcasing like African DJs? Do you showcase artists as well, or just DJs mainly?
Mainly DJs. We tried doing it with artists as well, but it didn't really work out. That's a whole long story where that's concerned, but yeah, mainly just DJs. Yeah. I think
That's how I
there's
find
also
it.
so much happening in Auckland that you kind of need to find like something that you focused on,
Yeah.
and then you just kind of do that. With me being a single mom and got all these other things going into, but a lot, unless I like leave everything else I'm doing and fully focus on like entertainment, then I could probably like venture into like artists and all of those other things. But yeah, so we do like a free event once every second month, a daytime session called Day Vibes. It initially started off with Banka and Massimo and myself under SBWL. But then we decided to make it its own thing. So it's called Day Vibes. It's got its own page. It's pretty much its own thing now. And then SBWL, I used to do an event every 3 weeks or every month. But after the recession and inflation and people leaving to go to Australia, things have slowed down a bit. So now we do like our Day Vibes every second month, and then every other month I've got SBWL.
Right.
And then we do pop-up gigs where, let's say we hear somebody's coming to New Zealand, and then we're like, okay, who can we scrape together to quickly do something, and then we just do like a pop-up event.
Yeah.
I'm always open to those. But yeah, we try and do something once a month because there is Wook It Up, which has been there since I moved to New Zealand.
So that's DJ Banty, right?
She's taken over it this year or last year, but it originally started with like a whole lot of people. Like there's always a new person taking over, but yes, DJ Banty is currently in control of that.
Yeah, I need to check out her fashion.
Yeah, her fashion is wicked. You love it.
She has like her own line and stuff. Like she makes her own clothes. She sells them.
Wow.
She does like fashion shows. Yeah. She did a show in I think it was last year November or September sometime. She did like a fashion show, and some of our DJs were models. It was so nice.
Was this in Auckland?
Yeah,
all the businesses in
unfortunately.
All the shows are.
Yeah. These two are models, by the way. So.
Nice. Yeah.
We did like an African.
Everything's African with you, huh?
I think you're actually really African.
You know how like you can identify as whatever you want now. I'm transitioning to being African.
You're welcome. Come to us.
I really like the idea of you bringing in artists, doing when artists come from overseas and or bringing in artists into, because nobody's really doing that here.
Yeah, it is a bit slow, only
Yeah.
based on the fact that we tried to get Davido.
Yeah.
That was a huge step. We tried to get Davido, Rebecca and I, and a couple of other people.
Yeah, I know
And
that's a
then
lot.
coming back to what I said earlier, nobody is willing to put the money up front
Yeah.
because everybody has that in their head, what if we lose it?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, so what if we lose it? At least we're getting more people coming to our events.
It's part of the risk, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the thing with Africans. They're so afraid of taking risks.
Yes.
You know, I mean, for the longest time have been wanting to do an event in Wellington. But then when I think about,
we'll talk.
but then when I think about like, I'm gonna come from Auckland. I'm gonna bring Massimo with me. I'm gonna bring Warren with me. I need to pay for their tickets. I need to pay for their accommodation. I need to pay for my accommodation. When I get here, there's all of that expenses. And then I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm based in Auckland. Do I have a crowd in Wellington? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Then then it's like, am I gonna lose that? Then But and then the other challenge in Wellington is also the venues, because I feel like they're so set in what they already doing
You
that
just
they
need
know.
to know how to massage them.
Well, I think that's how I got you now.
You need to know the code. What is it? What do you call it? The cheat
Code
codes.
switching. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
the cheat
man.
codes.
We gotta have
Yeah.
the cheat codes.
No, but our party at Bliss Bar was the best Afrobeats party, Afrobeats Amapiano party in all of Wellington. Like I've seen others happen,
Yeah.
but the amount of the numbers that we pulled, that was unlike any other.
Which one was that one?
It was on the 9th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
What was the name?
Mash it up. Mash up.
Oh yes, yes. I didn't see that much of that one online, but I saw your first party, the all white one at
Oh, yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
Little
Oh, the
Secret.
white-
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, the way I wish
White
I was
party.
there.
My party was such a vibe though.
Oh yeah, you're on one of the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a real life.
And we have one tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're going, but you're flying out at 12, innit?
Yes, I am.
You can't
I wish
swatch
I
it.
knew earlier.
Yeah.
Before I booked my flights, I would have been like,
Yeah.
oh,
You can't
okay.
swap it for a red eye. Don't do red eyes and you don't lose any money.
Nah, I don't know. I need to check if I got insurance on mine. But yeah, I feel like I just really need to go home though, because the last time I came to Wellington, took a 9 o'clock flight and nobody was ready at home.
So you're in Wellington, but you're just here for Cuba Duper?
So I actually came to support Cole tonight with his gig.
Colios?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's playing back to back with Rhythm Cartel.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to come to Auckland and
Yes.
stuff. And when I was here the last time, he was talking to me a little bit more about wanting to venture out.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the gig, I was like, oh, I might as well go for that day. And I used to come to Wellington a lot, but then I
Right.
got into a relationship and that kind of went out the gate. And then now that I'm single again, I'm just like, yep, going back to Wellington. I don't know, there's just something about this place that I just leave Auckland behind.
Yeah.
Because
It's
there's
the big
so much
village,
that
it's the big
happens.
village,
Yeah. There's just so much that happens in Auckland, and I just get away from all of that. And then there's this whole family here.
Yeah.
And people, and the vibe is different. And I'm just like, I feel so free when I'm here, like, you know?
And so, like, we got to shout out Cole because he's doing a boiler room tonight at what we used to call Tattoo Club
Yeah.
in the basement, but now it's called B Space Club.
Okay.
It used to be one, so it's in the basement of what was the old Tattoo Club, which was such an exquisite club to go into. Like you go in there and you feel high.
Oh, I love that. I'll save money.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you actually, because it was really 80s
Like
decor.
Like a dive bar.
No, like really like, you know, like the whole like square shoulders and people wearing suits and
Oh, wow.
yeah, like it was that vibe
Wow.
back in the 90s.
Not a dive bar.
No, not a dive bar at all. It
I'm
was
just
exquisite.
using dive bar so often because I learned that term yesterday.
Bro, you got a dive bar. You got a pub. I said dive bar.